We're in the sauna again, and we're gonna do a brief interview, and then we're gonna do part 2, which is gonna be hands-on visual workshop. But we've got 2, what I'd say, intermediate plus water fasters. And water fasting, as you'll find out, is one of the most miraculous things you can do. That's so simple, okay, to be able to regain back some of your health. That's just one thing, but it's one of the best ways for you to be able to kickstart yourself and get yourself in the flow. Now, Stefan came from Australia, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey. Why did you even come here? How did you even come here? You're a young guy. You don't look too sick to me. This guy's in good shape. He's got stomach muscles, everything here.
A bit older than what I look, but basically I've been diagnosed with Crohn's probably about 6 to 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just haven't been having digestive problem ever since, and obviously it's just been affecting my health, where any type of crisis I have, I'm just basically losing weight and not being able to digest anything. So
tell people what Crohn's, a lot of people don't know what Crohn's disease is.
It's autoimmune disease, as per se, but basically just inflame your gut, and once the gut is inflamed, you cannot digest anything, and everything just go right through, so you have no
I had that also. It's miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable. Diarrhea, constipation, bloating, everything you eat.
Everything at once.
Everything. You're irritable. Forget your bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
You're irritable up here because your stomach hurts so bloody much all the time. You can't go out to do anything, is because everything you do that's out of the so-called what you've learned is don't irritate this thing, because you may suffer for days just from doing something simple. So what have you done to be able to help alleviate? You still have a lot of the some people call it IBS, some people call it gastroenteritis, just some people call it just stomach problems. So
well, I've changed my diet. I became vegetarian since, and I've been trying to basically do the best I can with what I've put in my body. Because after a bit of research, you just realize that it's just not only affecting your bowel, but just pretty much your whole health. So yeah, just been very conscious, but obviously, here and there, all the temptation and all the people around you, you end up, doing some splits. But yeah, no, just been trying to be careful. One of my friends put me on Dr. Cassar, and basically, I just thought that was the only guy that was walking the walk and talking the talk. Because you can go to see a dietitian who will tell you that you should do this and do that, and then they have they don't look healthy at all.
No.
So why would I try to listen to any of their advice when
Well, I had the same problems as all you guys are doing what you're doing. I've gone through a lot of these different layers myself, and then also the best part is when you're a doctor, you see a lot of people that have these problems, but you really don't know what to do, is because you go to school and they teach you a different way to be able to treat things and actually manage care, versus actually just clean your act up and change maybe the way not only you eat, but what you eat, okay? And then how do you go ahead and actually, once you even change what you eat, how do you rebuild back your gut wall flora? How do you resolve not skin issues, the toxicity issues that are underneath your skin?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what he's doing right now. And how many years have you been watching videos?
Probably about 3 years. I've been probably a vegetarian for 5-6 years, and yeah, just been trying to follow some protocols at home, that whatever I could do. Obviously, it's not. It's still beneficial, but it's not as beneficial when you're still stressed by work or everyday life. But yeah, the retreat's been great. Just being able to disconnect from everything, just relaxing and enjoying the sun.
What have your friends said? You're coming up here for 21 days. You're going to Hawaii. You could be going on a cruise. You could be doing a lot of things, but you came up here to starve. I guess what they're looking at. You came up here to be able to go ahead and actually have different types of protocols, from getting needles stuck in your arm to take out toxicity, IV therapies. How about colon hydrotherapy? It's not something everybody wants to do on vacation.
No, they were quite amazed that I was willing to pay money to go and drink water. But
exactly.
As I say, it's not just a holiday where I'm just going to stuff my face and not stuff my face. It's just medical protocols, basically advanced, and any of the doctors probably wouldn't even have a clue about. So yeah, just basically trying to look after my health and be healthy.
Have you done any fasting before?
Nah, not really. Probably about a day, if I eat later or anything, but no. So Turns out to be pretty easier than what people thought. I mean, once again, it's a lot of the time it's mind over matter thing. We're like, we're just stuck in our ways where we have to eat. It's 12 o'clock, we have to eat. But turns out, well, I mean, first of all, like, the retreat, the support, and not having to do work. But I was still, being pretty active and stuff. Probably had a bit of turbulences, maybe day 3 and 4.
Tell them how many days did you do?
I'm on day 8 at the moment.
Okay, remember that, guys. 8 days without food, and that would be sort of like in your mind, you'd think you'd die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my dad says. After 3 days, don't you die? No, Dad, didn't you read the Bible? Remember 40-day water fast? Do you want to get healthy? Yeah. Problem is, it's not just water fasting anymore, because we have plastics, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides. We have GMOs. We have all these different assaults. We have Wi-Fi, or what I call Wi-Fi. Okay, you have all these different types of things that we got to learn about. So, what he's doing right now is he's deaccumulating, giving his system a reset, like a super rest, and his body right now is making new nerves by not eating. If you look that up, you'll see epigenetics, and that's, you can change your genetics. Okay, and he's not a doctor, but what he's doing, you know what he's doing? He stopped eating, so his body gets not only a rest, but it's going to turn around and eat a lot of the things in what's called ketosis. And we've talked about this many times, but not only are you in ketosis right now, okay, yeah. How many days did it take you to get into ketosis?
2-3 days.
Okay, and that's when you run out of sugar.
Yeah.
Your body starts making ketones, and your brain, all of a sudden, has food that it's never had before. And if your body knows how to eat ketones, you'll see, guys, this is a very high potency fuel, and it's made for regeneration, for regenerating your body. It's not carbohydrates, it's not protein, it's not alcohol, it's not fat. Okay, he's not eating anything. His body's still making energy. It's because it's feeding off of itself. Okay, and it's not really eating him, it's eating the things in him. Yeah. Parasites, fungus, mycoplasm, all those little pimples on his back. Nobody's getting fed right now. Okay, sugar, carbohydrates, protein turns to sugar, carbohydrates turn to sugar, ammonia. Okay, all these different things, it's all toxicity because of processing. So he's not processing anything except for everything that's dying inside him that has not had food. So this is a pretty incredible miracle, okay? Remember, learn intermittent fasting, and that just means basically you're gonna learn how to not eat so much so often. You're gonna go through at least a 18-hour to 20. I do 24 hours a day, but I have a variety of liquids, and this keeps your body so it's constantly going with food, and then when it doesn't have food, it goes ahead and has to backpedal to be able to use the food that you just put in it. Okay, and this is smart. It's in-breath, out-breath. Instead of just constantly feeding yourself and constantly feeding yourself, your body's never got a chance to be able to actually even utilize what it did. Okay, so what happens is, this is how people get parasites. This is how you get colonization of yeast, mold, and fungus, is because what you're doing is feeding the colony. Okay, you smoke tobacco, these are connections. And it's not the tobacco, okay, it's the sugar that you have with the tobacco. It's not the alcohol. Okay, and it does make it is a factor, but it's the sugar you have with the alcohol. Okay, it's the sugar that you have with a lot of things, okay, in your body that feed all the things in your body that you call sickness. So this is the best way, again, to be able to really change your life, is to be able to learn how to detox, and what lives inside you then just starts to fall out of you. Did you have anything on your hydrocolon therapy come out of you?
The last one, I just seen like stuff that was really dark and like looked really old, and I could feel that, I was really stuck. Like when I was at work, I could feel that thing, yeah, like nothing going through the way it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Had a lot of bloating. Once again, alternation of constipation, diarrhea, and yeah, just not really feeling great. And like, if you don't digest really good, like you can't, like your mood is just not,
So what did you get out of it? Have you done any enemas before?
Yeah, I've done enemas at home, like just really like a little bit, but obviously, it doesn't really go all the way. So what did you visually see come out of you? Debris? Yeah. But I mean, like pieces of undigested food, probably not chewed enough. probably didn't have enough gastric acid or...
Well, a lot of times what you see is after about 5-6 days,
Yeah.
there's no food in your stomach, intestinal tract. You have debris, is what I call it.
Oh,
Yeah.
after my hydrochlorotherapy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
colon.
That was, debris. That was like old.
Debris, old garbage, whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
we don't know, but it doesn't need to be there any longer. And cleaning the sewage pit, if you don't clean that, then how could you clean your small intestine where all the real creatures live? So that's the idea of what he's doing right now. He's stopping his food. And Beatrice already went through this here. She did 14-day water fast. Okay, let me just switch over here real quick. This woman's a stud, remember. 14-day water fast. And she's skin and bones, right? Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like she was 40 pounds overweight and she's living off of what's living inside her. You know, she's you know, what I call an intermediate faster is a 14-day water faster. And that does take not strength, it takes courage to keep on. You know, you didn't sometimes think you were going to do 14 days, but I tell people try 7 days, and if you can, go one more day. Remember, that's like doing all 7 days over again. Do one more day.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm in the 7th day,
Mm-hmm.
and probably I do a couple of more.
How do you feel? Remember, both these guys, remember, he's on 8 days. She's on about the same, 7-8 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel very good. Some days I don't have that much energy. Some days I have a lot of energy. Like yesterday we went to work out and I did pretty normal workout.
I saw you working out. You were doing as I wouldn't even think you were fasting. I wasn't even thinking because you were working out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, when you're more advanced, what happens is that I like people that are a little more optimized is because what they can do is they can do the more advanced fasting. A lot of times people, they feel really sick and tired and lazy, and they need a rest. That's what your body needs. But if you're more advanced, fasting and exercising is really, really smart, okay? But of course you got to be in shape somewhat. So she's a avid sports person in many, you know, gym, and she does a lot of, what do you call it,
Kiteboarding, pedal boarding, all kind of sport.
Okay,
Beach
so
tennis, rollerblading, bicycle.
yeah, so this is easy for her to detox. It's because she's already into exercise. So, guys, if you want to detox too, it's not just doing saunas. It's not just changing your diet, okay? It's not just laying around and having someone massage you. It does take exercise and discipline and consistency to keep on actually rebuilding your nervous system, okay? Because once you pervert your nervous system, you have to rebuild it. Once you pervert your gut wall flora, okay, he's got irritable bowel syndrome. He's not going to have GMOs anymore because he looks up and he says, GMO leaky gut syndrome. Shoot, if you eat this stuff, look what it does. It puts holes in your intestine. It's what the research says. And you can see there's a lot of research on GMO. You will get drowned by looking at GMO research, okay? And you're going to see corruption, meaning that you got this information that says it's good for you, this information that says it's terrible for you. Okay, and everybody's confusing everybody. The big thing is, guys, if you really think genetically modified sterile organisms are good for you to eat that have been swimming, okay, soaking in glyphosate, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, or what I call estrogen mimickers, okay, these are not good for you to eat. And you can see the EU. Okay, I was going to ask you, do you guys have GMOs in your country?
I get a lot of very confusing information. One day the European Parliament passes it, then France bans it, then it's, I don't know. It's
a powerful union is what it is.
But I mean, there's, you know, lobbying everybody.
So they do have GMOs then?
Some parts of it, well, they refuse it, but then they still accept glyphosate, so I'm not even 100% sure.
See, I went to Peru. They won't let GMOs in there. You know how they let GMOs in there? They got Burger King.
Yeah.
They got McDonald's. They have all the chicken, you know, KFC everywhere. Okay, so they're getting in, and what happens is these GMOs, what they do is they pervert your gut wall flora, and they make you so you now, as you can see, okay, look up the patents and you'll see that they splice, okay, and you can splice strawberries with codfish, okay. It's not just splicing like you think, like genetically modified. Sounds cool. Okay, but they're splicing things, plants, splanting herbicides, okay? Check this one out. You take wheat, corn, soy, and you go ahead and splice in a pesticide into the food, and as a bug eats the food, it blows up its stomach. All of a sudden, you got stomach problems. Well, think of this one. It blows up the insect's stomach. So what happens, do you think, when you eat what the insect eats, and remember, we're all pretty much the same. We all have stomachs, we all have brains, eyes, ears, okay? Insects are a little different, but you know what? When you go ahead and see the research on rats, and then you find out that 80% of the population has stomach problems, not just a little gas, they got stomach problems. Okay, so your number one thing to do is right now, since you're clean, you're going to get cleaner, is no more GMOs, and you have to be really smart about it.
No, but I mean, I grew up, drinking Coke, going to Macca's.
So did I. Yep.
I was drinking tons and tons of Coke. So, I mean, on the other hand, one of my grandma actually was giving me a lot of kefir, so I think that sort of helped me rebuild my gut flow bacteria.
What's it called? Kefir?
Kefir?
Kefir.
Kefir.
He's from Australia.
Yeah.
And we're from over here, we say different things.
Yeah, but so I think that sort of like helped me out, delaying my condition. So, but just to go back to Australia, like they're very, very careful with the quarantine, but it's just a bit of like very hypocritical because they have no issue with McDonald's, but KFC, Burger King.
Do they have all those there too?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, they do. So these guys get around everywhere.
So, if you bring any seeds from overseas, they will give you a fine or anything, but when you import GMOs, no worries. Yeah, it's fine. So.
Well, we ship worldwide at Earthshift, and I have people that have complained about saying, you know what, they held their blue-green algae and it cost me $100 to go ahead and get it. Why?
Yeah, well, it didn't cost me anything, but I had to explain in probably 10 emails what it was, giving the exact composition, and finally they released it, but, first they have no idea what it is. And
this person had to pay money, they said, or something, or it cost them such and such amount of money. They held it.
Sometimes you have to pay for it, but
because the guy sent them letters or something, and he didn't respond in a certain amount of time. If not, they're going to throw it out.
Right.
The guy says, "No. Now you're stuck in our little permit. You need to pay us to get it now."
Yeah, but I mean, this is a joke. I mean, everything.
So they do that?
Yeah, because they have no idea what it is, so they're asking if it's supplements, drugs. What type of supplement? What
it says right on the bottle. It's not a bottle of powder. It's not. Come on, guys. We sell this. All you have to do is go on the internet. It's sold all throughout the United States in many places.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I still got it in the end, but it's just like the administrative hurdles, and
it's a hassle. It's a hassle. So
yeah,
what he's talking about too. Okay, is that it's very confusing to find out what is genetically modified, what is hybridized, and what is heirloom. And if you ask professionals, and I want you to do this, guys, ask professionals. Remember, they're all supposed to be so smart. Okay? Ask the doctors, the nutritionists, can you tell me the difference between GMO, okay, heirloom, and hybridized? Okay? And what you want to eat is heirloom. That's the tomatoes are this big, they're heirloom. Okay, here's a hybridized tomato. A genetically modified tomato is usually bigger, but it has no seeds. It will not reproduce. It's sterile. You are what you eat. Okay, so now let's go back over this way here. Now, show us your drink you're drinking. Okay, we're drinking drinks. You want to get healthy, guys? How'd you guys get healthy right now? You're drinking liquids. Yeah. Okay, is that simple, guys? This is blue-green algae and beet. It's a cold extract tint. Show them how beautiful that thing is. A little closer. Whoa, look at that.
I have the one here.
Okay. And there it is right here. And this is about a 2-year project I've been working with because people can't really make the blue-green algae easy. They just have problems with it. So what we've done is we've cold extract out the tints. Excuse me, dry. And the tints basically make this food. It's not body food. Where do you think this goes? It's brain food. Okay, so this drink right here is another liquid of vitality. These are liquids of vitality. You can add chia seeds to this. You can add MSM to this. You can add a lot of stuff. But this is a brain drink. Okay.
And I also have some crystals in it.
Oh, here, mine. I put a crystal in all my water because it makes it easier to drink. It structures the water so when you drink it, you don't feel bloated. Okay. Liquids, remember, are your friends. This is Camu Camu. The most active amount of vitamin C in plants comes from the Amazon, from one of our forests that we have, over the 50,000 trees that we work with the farmers there. I was just there, and I've never even known what Camu Camu looks like. It looks like a little cherry this big. I've always seen it powdered and everything else, and this is sacred to the Amazonian people because you don't get sick if you eat Camu Camu. It's sold everywhere. Okay, and Camu Camu, no one even knows what it is here. So Camu Camu, this has a spoon of that. This has a spoon of MSM. Just did a drink on this. Liquid of Vitality, and this has a full squeeze lemon in there. I put in also 5 drops of our liquid stevia. It's because the MSM's a little bitter, and most people won't like it. I actually only put in like 2 or 3 because I like the bitterness a little bit. The healthier you get, bitter tastes good. And then I also put in silica, minerals, and maybe 20 drops of fulvic acid in there. And, you know, you would think, and you can see all the chia seeds swimming around in there too, but you would think that this would probably taste not the greatest. It tastes beautiful. Now, remember, liquids are, this is what these guys are doing. You're doing washing liquids, you're just washing stuff out, okay? You got second type of liquid, dissolving liquids, dissolving stuff. Then you got to wash it out, so you need a different type of liquid. And then you have another type of liquid, which is what? Renutrification. Dissolve, wash, and renutrify. It's called, I call it the Trinity of Health. And if you just do this with liquids, guys, okay, it's really easy to get healthy. It's not hard. It's not hard to get healthy, and it's really hard to get sick. It is. It takes a lot to beat your body up, and it takes a lot of seeing what other people did, guys. You're not going to figure this out. Just watch and see what other people do. And it's got to be simple. I call it the 3 E's. Easy, economical, and efficient. If not, I know you won't do it. Okay, so tell us about you had stomach problems before too, remember? Everybody's got stomach problems.
Yeah, same thing. That's why I'm here.
And they're young people. They're not 60 and 70. Yeah. This is happening with everybody.
Yeah, so I started probably like 5 years ago. I'm watching you about the same time. I became vegan. I did a lot of juice, fruits, a lot of fruits. I can say probably I was a fruitarian for a while.
You lived in Florida too?
Yeah, I lived in Florida.
Getting good sun and everything,
yeah,
but your stomach was messed up. Is that the number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no physical problems, just stomach
never
mostly.
Physical problem, but when your stomach is bloated, you feel terrible. You cannot do nothing.
Exactly.
You're not happy. You're cranky all the time. So I was sick and tired, and I just watched your movies and made sense for me. And it took me about 3 years to able to come here and do the experiment. And the 14-day water fast grew me a lot.
Change your life.
Change my life.
Change your life.
Change my life.
And look, she's on another water fast now, and she's helping here with the retreats. Does this work with people?
It does.
Everybody. Okay, guys, all you have to do is watch other people. You can do this at home, but it's not going to have, let me tell you, you're not going to go, you need the terrain. You need to be in a nice place. You have thousands of pounds of crystals here, and that does help you. Okay, it helps you lose emotional baggage by wearing a crystal around your neck when you water fast, and wearing it all the time, but being able to also get away from stress, getting away from electrical magnetic activity, sitting in a chair 9 hours a day under fluorescent lights, okay, learning how to do the skin cleanse. Remember, I call them collective protocols. They're collective therapies. You put them all together and you have magic. Water fasting by itself is okay. You add IV therapies, you add colon hydrotherapy, you add all different types of other therapies that go along with it, deep massage, okay, any of these things that you add. We're going to put a hyperbaric chamber here too to be able to infuse people with oxygen going into the waterfall. Okay, this is magical stuff.
Yeah, it's really magical.
It is. Let's go back this way here. And what we're doing, guys, is we're just sort of warming up so I can get these guys soft enough so I can work on them. Like I said, what we're going to do with Stefan here is a little different than what I'm going to do with Beatrice. Okay, we're gonna dig deep into his pore tissue, and remember, we just cleaned him.
Yeah.
Like shit, I wanted to film it because I really scrubbed him good.
Yeah.
And there's nothing on his skin, nothing. So I don't want to hear about whatever's coming out off his skin. No, it's not his skin we're scraping off. I already scrubbed him.
Yeah.
Hard, like you had somebody have spray paint on you trying to get it off. We didn't just go over it once or twice. We coated you with alcohol and scrubbed the heck out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and actually remember, the pores soft enough. The skin's on the outside and there's a layer right under the skin, and you have to get that soft enough. Okay, the hair, you can feel the top of your head, and if you don't, this thing's paper thin up here, and most people, they have a sponge of about 1/8 of an inch at least. Okay, and this is all pus. Losing your hair, okay?
Jeez.
This is all pus,
Thank you.
okay? And so this is all these different protocols. Wrinkles, okay, remember, your skin should be see-through. The skin needs to be clean, it needs to be protected, and you need to get out in the sun with your full body. These are all simple protocols, and most of them, remember, you don't even have to change your diet. But if you don't change your diet, guys, you still may. Look, these two guys were physical. They're pretty good. You know what they had problems with? Stomach. Digestion. Okay? They're not physically enabled, and you know, not having, you know, they're not, it's nothing physical. Okay? This is the same problem I had. Massive problems with my stomach. I went and got colonoscopies 15 years ago. Okay, I thought I had stomach cancer. The doctor wanted to put me on all these medications.
Me too, I thought that.
Same. Scared the heck up. I had blood in my stools. You ever have blood in your stools?
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah.
How about you?
No?
Okay, so this is real. And guys, you should ask yourself, okay, are you eating genetically modified foods? And I'm not here to bag on you. Figure it out yourself. Remember, Seeds of Deception. Watch all the different documentaries. There's lots of documentaries. Make your own decisions. But remember, mostly, about 80% of everything you're buying in the store, I don't care if it's canola oil, cottonseed oil, okay, when you go to restaurants,
Rapeseed.
okay, everything that you can imagine, you better do your homework and find out that you want to try to, if you can, make your own garden. Okay, try to, if you can, only eat heirloom foods. So now you have to find out what they are. And remember, tomatoes are this big, so are apples. Okay, oranges, they're not all this big. Watermelons aren't this big, guys.
I never buy the huge ones.
And if they don't have seeds, don't touch them.
Seedless? No.
Don't touch them, okay? Grapes without seed. Why? Because you're too lazy? How about you're dumb? Because the seeds have grapeseed extract. A friend of mine's named Richard, and he makes millions of dollars a year by inventing GSE. Okay, so this is something where you can see a lot of things have been sort of like sterilized. If you take the seeds out of something, that's like he's a male and we castrate him, and now he's a male still, but he can't reproduce. And of course, we go to the female, and how do we castrate her? We just take her ovaries out. Same thing. Take the seeds out. Take the ovum out. And what you're eating, remember, when you are eating fruit, vegetables, you're eating the testes, the ovaries, what we call the gonads of the fruit, and they should be intact. And if you are eating eggs, again, you better make sure your eggs are fertile and better make sure they're not being fed GMO food. If you're eating flesh, well, you better make sure that it's organic, schmorganic. It does make a difference, but then again, you better make sure that they're not feeding them organic corn, wheat, or soy. It doesn't matter. I have chickens. It's very hard for me to find no wheat, no corn, no soy in the chicken food.
Yeah.
I can't find it. And so I have to order it myself, and it's about 40 cents. It's like twice as much money. Okay, so what we do is we try to, get smart and in Hawaii, of course, you guys over on the mainland, it's really easy for you to get anything. But over here, people aren't really aware, so they don't even have any of these types of products. So I've gotten the feed store to bring in 10 bags at a time, and all of a sudden it dropped it way down. So the idea is that if you're going to go ahead and grow your own food, at least you know what's going in it. Okay, and it is fun to be able to get out in the garden. Okay, it does make you healthy, and it does make you feel like all of a sudden you're connecting yourself back to nature. That's one of the best things. Did you guys notice that you've got connected back to nature from your water fast?
Yeah. The waterfall is amazing. The weather is perfect. The grass, just being out all the time pretty much. Changed a lot from being under the, flashlight at work and 9 hours a day.
What do you do at work?
I work for I have enough office work, so yeah.
So you're in the office all day.
Yeah. And if I'm not doing that, I'm working at a bar at night. So
sitting in a chair.
Yeah, sitting or standing up for 9 hours. So.
Any windows in your office?
Yeah, but.
Little one, but you're getting false light coming in. Yeah. Staring in front of a computer all day yeah. Yes. And you did the same thing here.
That's what I was doing. Yeah.
Okay.
I had my own business. And it was a family business, and I gave up everything and I moved here because I get sick and tired.
You get sick from a lot of different stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not natural.
So I'm super connected now with the nature, with the animals.
Seeing green everywhere.
Yeah. Even though I had a good life because I lived in a beach, right on the beach, and I work from home, but still spend a lot of time with the computer, at least 6 hours a day,
stress,
7 hours.
because you're in business. All businesses are stress.
Stress every day. But I was lucky to go to the ocean probably almost every day.
And that resets you.
Oh yeah, that's like a life insurance too.
It is. The ocean's very sacred, guys. It's because you're 18 gallons of salt water. If you wanted to get reground, you jump back into the big ocean, which is the big ocean, and that's salt water too. And you jump in, and your little 18 gallons, the one drop of salt water you are, jumps into the I am that I am, all the water.
So whenever I was able to spend time, I walk on the beach, I swim in the ocean, and I lived in South Beach in Miami, so that's super crazy. I'm a little bit out of South Beach, that's a little bit more calm, but still, it's getting very crazy there, so I get tired over there.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, as far as you have a stressful job right now, because a lot of irritable bowel syndrome, remember, these are all pieces that add up together. Okay, you drink a lot of coffee. Did you drink a lot? You had soda, you said.
Yeah, no, yeah. When
alcohol,
I was younger,
because you're doing a bartending.
Yeah,
remember?
I used to. Yeah, I did that when I was well. I'm not working at a restaurant now, so it's a bit more like I don't drink pretty much. But yeah, I did drink. I did everything, you know.
Sure.
Just didn't drink coffee, but yes, any type of crisis that I had was really as well like linked to stress.
Stress,
so,
that adds to it.
Oh yeah, big amount.
Yeah. How many times a day did you eat?
3 times.
3 times, typical.
Yeah, typical.
We're all told to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Why? Because that's what everybody does, and snacks in between. So it's not 3 times a day meals. It's 6 times a day now. That's what most people.
Yeah. So you're at work, everybody's eating. So it's somebody's birthday, everybody brings this, brings that, and if you say to someone, I'm gonna skip lunch, I'm just gonna have water, and
they
crazy.
Just look at you. What are you nuts? That's what my dad says. Yeah. Dad, there's nothing here to eat. What are you guys eating this stuff? And you notice everybody. Guys, you know why you look like you do and you feel like you do is because look what you're eating.
Yeah.
It tastes good.
Yeah, pig's bum too. All different weird.
Too much.
They're eating way too much. Okay.
But, everything has MSG and everybody's basically hooked on food. And they don't realize they're addicted.
They're addicted. Yeah. They say, I'm not on drugs, I'm not on pharmaceuticals, but you eat sugar 5-6 times a day, you have 4 or 5 sodas. You're one of those people then that are maybe, because an average person in the United States has 200 pounds of sugar a year. Again, 100 million obese people, guys. What do you think? Why do you think you're overweight? Okay. Not only do you have toxicity, not only is your skin plugged, but you got too many sugars. Okay, carbohydrates. The carbohydrates turn to sugars. Okay, so learn again. It's not just a ketogenic diet. I do a blood-free, ketogenic, intermittent fasting diet. Okay, you have to connect all the dots together. It's not just ketogenic. You can have fats all the time. You eat too much still, you have to have your body have rest. And then it turns around and it becomes efficient. It eats what you gave it, and I have one big meal a day. Okay, you guys can start, no matter where you're at, you can start doing, 2 meals a day. But I have 1 good meal a day, and I have all my liquids throughout the day. And the secret is, it's not the ketogenic diet. Okay, and of course everybody can have meat on a ketogenic diet. That's, if you look it up, you'll see. But this is a blood-free ketogenic diet because remember, there's no need to kill anything to stay alive, guys. Okay, if anybody told you need meat, again, they fooled you. Okay, if anybody told you need to drink blood every day to stay alive, they fooled you. Okay, you don't. You can look up and see. Okay, the best athletes in the world, a lot of them. Okay, they don't eat meat. Remember, gorillas, they eat insects. It's about it, but they don't have any meat. Horses, they don't have any meat. Okay, any of the animals, the vegetarians, rhinos, they don't eat meat. Okay,
and they're super strong.
And they're stronger than the ones that actually eat meat. A rhino, an elephant. See him chewing on carcass, okay, or drinking blood. These are very special. Look at a whale. It just eats krill. Little tiny little things. Remember, your body is very special, so you have to train it to be able to have the fuels that you want it to process. And so this is the big thing with these guys, and we're going to start here, okay, because we're ready. In order for you to be able to change your life, you got to stop your life. And if you don't do it for at least 10-day water fast, you're getting up. It's like you've never ran a marathon before, guys, and you're not going to run a marathon usually unless you train. Okay, so it does take some discipline. Look, you've been doing this for several years now. Yep. You've changed lots of things. Yep. Okay, we've had people come here that have never done anything, and they had a McDonald's hamburger before they came the night before. So once you've reset yourself, okay, then you have to start getting more awareness. You have to start learning more why you're going to do what you're going to do, so you don't go back to what you did. Okay, it's real simple. And you got to do this research. Okay, it does take time. You should spend about an hour to 2 hours a day, not only watching some of the videos. I'm just giving you some pieces of the information. Okay, Earther Academy shows you practices, principles, and protocols that I do and other people do. And if you don't, want to do them, don't do them. No one's telling them to do them, and it's a work in progress. So whatever we're showing you may change. Okay, so participate with us and take some of the protocols that you can handle and see if you can put them into your life. It's real easy. Okay, now we've been in here about 35 minutes, okay? And this is what it takes to be able to have me do the protocols I'm going to do on both these guys. And the protocol is really simple. Okay, I've done this on many people. Everybody's different, though, because these guys have good skin, so I can push way harder. I'm not going to even make too many marks on these guys, just because they've already done... You've been doing gouaching for how long?
Probably about 6 months.
Okay, and the first day he came, I saw him, he goes in the sauna. He came out, he had marks on him. I said, all right, brother.
You ready for that?
Are you using a sauna?
No, I don't have a sauna. I don't everything.
Do it in the shower or something, or
Yeah,
just do it out?
yeah.
And the sauna is effective. Why? Because it makes you
Sweat.
soft. Well, it makes you soft.
Yeah, opens up.
Okay, here we go, part 2. Anything that you'd like to say as far as, because remember, we're trying to inspire people to be able to engage. You got inspired somehow, maybe by my crazy videos, whatever it was. Same with you, Betty. Okay, so we're wanting to have people, before you get sick, guys, again, I always say, I'm curious to see what you're going to do when you get sick. I'm really curious. Okay, I'm just curious. It's because if you take the regular medical way, you're just going to manage your symptoms, and you're not going to go ahead and fix yourself. Remember, you have to be your own doctor. I just did a video on this, becoming your own doctor. And if you don't figure it out, not being anybody else's doctor, being your own doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to learn. That means teacher. You got to learn, and you got to go ahead and practice reason. So learn from these guys. Okay, you're not just doing things by themselves. Remember, tens of thousands of people have already done this. Okay, just if you think that it's something that's worthy, by not me telling you, but that's why I do these interviews and stuff. It's because these guys are stepping up to the plate, and when they do, it's up to them now to make sure, if they can, to share their transformation. It's because their job now is to see if they can inspire other people, because you got inspired by somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's once I got sick, it was just really weird from one day that you go to a doctor that you never met, and basically they tell you, well, you are sick, this is a lifelong condition, we cannot treat it, but we can manage it for the rest of your life. So
take the magic pill.
all of a sudden you're just like, hold on, man, a minute ago I was healthy, and then all of a sudden now I'm sick for the rest of my life. So it's just like, whoa, am I going to be able to do anything or whatever? So just from that, just started to looking into more about health, diet, and pretty much everything and anything. Because
you had to, not because...
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, true. But, once again, it takes, I guess, sort of like a...
Kick in the part.
Yeah, exactly.
Kicking the pants there.
Otherwise, you're comfortable, keeps on drinking your soda. And
okay, so listen to what he's saying, guys. You better figure out before you get sick, because you know what? You may not be guided in the right direction, as Stefan has, or you may be guided in the wrong direction, but you better clean up your act right now. And that's real simple. All you have to do is start to learn a little at a time. So...
Yeah. It's just, because the only alternatives were really either to be on drugs for the rest of your life, or, well, we're just going to cut some piece of your intestine. So it didn't really sound like...
Synthetic chemicals.
Yeah.
Because medicine, they go, oh, I'm taking pharmaceutical, I'm taking medicines from the doctor. No, you're taking synthetic chemicals, guys, and they all get residue, and they all have side effects. Listen to the commercials. You take this, you may die, you may bleed, you may go ahead and lose your such and such, you may go ahead and commit suicide, you may go ahead... What?
It is crazy.
And people are still taking the drug.
And they still take them. My dad goes, they got to say that for liability. I said, Dad, do you know what you're taking? Okay, do you know what your friends are taking? I said, don't you ever watch those commercials? Look at all the people taking statin drugs.
My mom's on it. It's crazy.
And if you don't know what statin drugs are, guys, that's the drugs that they do to lower your cholesterol.
It's a drug business.
It's a business.
Exactly. You're a patient. You're a client.
$1 billion business.
There's 100 million prescriptions last year, actually in year 2014, for statin drugs. Do you look up statin drugs /cancer, and you'll find out that they're not good to take, guys. Okay, why don't you find out the research? Again, I'm not here to bang on everybody. It's your free will, okay, to be able to research and not listen sometimes to the authorities. Just because the guy's wearing a white jacket, okay, and he's a doctor, he went to school, Okay, look at himself too. Have him or her, the doctor, take their clothes off, because you're not just interested in their degree. You want to see their pedigree. You want to make sure that they're practicing what they're preaching and preaching, okay, in a way that makes it so it makes sense to you, is because you can see what it's doing. Okay, so this is gamu gamu tickles my throat. This is the idea for, yeah, please.
Ask the doctor if they actually who prescribe you to go on chemotherapy, if they're actually taking it themselves, and then
yeah,
see.
Exactly. And if you haven't seen The Truth About Cancer yet, the series, guys, it's good for you to see. You find out that it's sort of weird. You know, remember, you go to the hospital. My father ran 25 hospitals called NME, okay, National Medical Enterprises, and he was the chief administrator. And what do you think that means? He's the money man. He wants to make sure that those businesses make money, okay? Make money. It has nothing to do with your health and wellness, okay? It has nothing to do, like politics, it has nothing to do with what's right or wrong, okay? It's like sometimes even getting thrown in jail. Look how many people are in there for things they didn't even do, okay? So when you get sick, sometimes it's nothing maybe you did. It's because maybe it's something you didn't research, okay? You better figure it out. Like I said, and I say this all the time because I am not worried about you, but you know, I always see people. You know, I've seen over 100,000 patient visits. It's better to go ahead and help yourself when you're healthy, guys, okay, than when you're sick, okay? Because all you want to do if you're nauseated and throwing up on a boat, okay, you want to get off the boat. There's nothing that's going to fix you, and so you're going to have to bow down to a lot of stuff. And once you get on that pharmaceutical hamster wheel, guys, you ain't getting off easy. Okay, my mom got on that hamster wheel. She went to the hospital there and got an iatrogenic disease, which means hospital-caused disease. It means you go in and you ain't coming out. Okay, so be careful, guys. Figure it out now. Okay, and these guys, like I said, they were young, no physical problems. Okay, look, no physical problems. It's like, what are you fasting for? Okay, why are you
fasting for? Because my stomach has still problem. It's still bloating.
But people think because you're thin, why are you fasting?
And I have some sore in my body, like muscle pain.
Yeah, it's not for visual. She's drying herself out and rebuilding herself a layer at a time. Just like she destroyed herself assault-wise. Okay, you had mercury fillings before.
Yeah, many years ago I changed that.
Okay.
I removed them.
Okay, both these guys, look, I did too. And you want to get irritable bowel syndrome? Here. Eat GMO, have mercury fillings, okay? Go ahead and swallow the mercury vapor so you can destroy your good bacteria, okay? Go ahead and have certain things that have pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, chemicals, synthetics, hormones, everything, estrogen mimickers that change your gut wall flora, which are 90% of your genetic genome, which is 85 to 90% of your immune system. You better figure it out, guys, and take care of your gut wall flora. And we're not talking your intestinal flora and your sewage pit. That's the colon. It's the small intestines. And this is where the creatures live. Okay, so, okay, we're going into part 2. And again, drink lots of liquids and learn from these guys here. Okay, you do want to engage, okay,
with your own health, because that's yours and nobody can fix it for you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
My job is not to help people, it's to go ahead and give you choices so you can help yourselves, guys. I don't do private consultations, there's no need to. Okay, remember, all the information's out there, but then again, you need discretion to figure out. Remember, the easiest, simplest things to do are the things that are going to really help you. Okay, so watch the interviews that we do too, and just say, I just want to try fasting for 1 day. Then I'm going to try 2 days. And then I'm going to jump up to such and such. And all I can say, just like these guys, they did it.
Yeah, it's my 3rd water fasting.
3rd.
Yeah. In a short period, I did one in November, 7 days. I did 14 days in February. Now it's my 7th. And I don't know how long I'm gonna go.
And each time you do your water fast, right? You start refeeding, not with garbage, with the right foods, ferments. She's a ferment queen, this girl here. She loves and knows how to make all the superfoods, really excellent. Called not a chef, just because you could make food taste good and everything. Most likely, look at the chefs. They're 150 pounds, all of them overweight. Okay, they're cooking and they're making toxic food. You got to learn how to be not just even a raw food chef. It's called a real cuisine chef. Okay, cuisine. You got to make it
ketogenic because we don't put sugar in
no
anything.
sugar. No, that's one thing that I think that will help you guys. Okay, is real simple. Is you'll find out once you eat sugar, you'll find out you're going to get gas and you're going to get some of those feelings right back again. So don't feed the monsters. Okay? Until you get to where you're going to be, then you won't even like sugar anyways. You just don't like it. I'd rather have fat, salty, oily. That's it. Tastes better. Okay, and then you can see we've been in here now about an hour. 45 minutes. That's it.
Yep.
Okay, and you can see I got rivers still going down me. Okay. Okay, she's got a river going down her right now. Okay. And he's wiped off a couple times, but he's got a river. You can see it on the side here.
Back.
Okay. So, next part, like I said, is something that you don't do in the beginning. This is a little bit advanced. Okay, but I usually do this towards the end. And this guy's easy, is because he's advanced, and she's already done this, so we're just going to go ahead and do a second swipe. I've only done you aggressively a few times, right? Because we've done deeper, on the legs.
Yeah, we did a lot of deeper work in the steam sauna as well.
The steam sauna.
Yeah.
And did you get bruised?
Yeah, I did it seriously, and it's very painful too. But
Does it help?
We see it's visible that how the layers coming off.
But it does help after it's done.
Each time a layer come off.
Each time a layer comes off, and of course,
skin gets softer, thinner.
And more flexible too, as far as, remember in the beginning when you first came here, she wasn't overweight. I grabbed the back of her arm because her arm just looks normal,
Yeah.
but I grabbed, I said, oh, does that hurt? Remember how hard that
very
was?
painful,
Yeah.
Okay.
My legs too, same thing.
Same with
My
your
thighs.
legs.
Yeah.
Yep.
same
And then it
thing.
took just a little while, okay, to be able to break it down. But
We
again,
only did it a few times, maybe 2-3 times, and it's a huge, big difference.
100%. Yeah. So, okay, here we go. Everybody, here, let's just do this in the middle. Aloha, guys. Everybody with chakaroonies here from Australia, and then from
Hungary.
from Hungary, and from Malta. Here we go. Aloha.
Important reminder: all information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.